Once upon a time, in a vast and beautiful kingdom, there was a prince named Alexander. He was known far and wide for his kindness and wisdom. He often traveled through his kingdom to meet his subjects and understand their needs. In a small, poor village at the edge of the kingdom, there lived a girl named Ella. Ella was an orphan. Her parents had died when she was very young. She was left in the care of her stepmother, who was cruel and unkind. Ella's stepmother treated her like a servant, making her do all the household chores from dawn until dusk. Her two stepsisters, who were just as mean as their mother, did nothing to help and often taunted Ella. Despite her hardships, Ella remained gentle and hopeful. She found comfort in the little garden behind her house, where she tended to the flowers and spoke to the birds. Her only friend was an old, scruffy cat named Whiskers, who would purr and curl up beside her at the end of each long day. Ella dreamed of a better life, though she had no idea how it could ever come true. One day, an exciting announcement was made throughout the kingdom. The king was hosting a grand ball in honor of Prince Alexander. All the young ladies in the kingdom were invited, as the prince was looking for a bride. Ella's stepmother and stepsisters were overjoyed and immediately began preparing for the ball. They bought new dresses, shoes, and jewelry, and they spent hours each day talking about the prince and their chances of becoming his bride. Ella, on the other hand, was forbidden to go. Her stepmother told her she was too dirty and poor to be seen at the palace. As the day of the ball approached, Ella's stepmother and stepsisters became more demanding, making Ella work harder than ever to prepare their dresses and ensure everything was perfect. Ella felt a mix of excitement and sadness. She longed to go to the ball and meet the prince, but she knew it was impossible. On the night of the ball, after her stepmother and stepsisters had left, Ella sat alone in her garden and cried. Suddenly, a bright light appeared, and a kind old woman stood before her. She was Ella's fairy godmother, who had come to help her. With a wave of her wand, the fairy godmother transformed Ella's tattered clothes into a stunning gown of silk and lace. She gave Ella a pair of delicate glass slippers and turned a pumpkin into a magnificent carriage. The fairy godmother told Ella she could go to the ball but warned her that the magic would end at midnight. Ella arrived at the palace, and everyone was struck by her beauty and grace. Prince Alexander was immediately captivated by her and asked her to dance. They danced and talked for hours, and Ella felt like she was in a dream. She forgot all about her stepmother and stepsisters and enjoyed the magical evening. As the clock began to strike midnight, Ella remembered the fairy godmother's warning. She quickly thanked the prince and ran out of the palace, leaving one of her glass slippers behind in her haste. Prince Alexander was heartbroken to see her go, but he picked up the slipper and vowed to find the girl who had stolen his heart. The next day, Prince Alexander set out to find the owner of the glass slipper. He visited every house in the kingdom, trying the slipper on every young woman he met. When he arrived at Ella's house, her stepmother and stepsisters eagerly tried to fit their feet into the slipper, but it was no use. Then, the prince saw Ella peeking out from the kitchen. He asked her to try on the slipper, and to everyone's amazement, it fit perfectly. Prince Alexander knew he had found his true love. He took Ella back to the palace, where they were married in a grand celebration. Ella's stepmother and stepsisters were left behind, filled with regret and envy. As princess, Ella used her new position to help the poor and needy in the kingdom. She never forgot her humble beginnings and treated everyone with kindness and compassion. Prince Alexander and Princess Ella ruled the kingdom with love and wisdom. Their story became a beacon of hope for all who heard it, proving that true love and kindness can overcome any obstacle. They lived happily ever after, making the kingdom a better place for all.